Hey everybody, welcome back to the IHC Craft Room. Today is live number 6 of the Easter Extravaganza. And we're going to be making a super lamb face like wreath thing. We're going to make a wreath lamb. I'm excited. I'm like really excited. Okay, so first of all, if you want to trace this guy's face, the downloadable is available in the description below if you want to do this with me. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap the base of this wreath with this beautiful, lovely, soft, chunky yarn. And then we're going to make a couple of little arms and a couple of little legs. And we're going to cut out his little face with some felt and stick it on there. And we're going to have a little lamb wreath. I'm really excited about this. I've never made anything like this before. So this is going to be lots of fun. Okay, so these are the Googly Eyes that I got from the dollar store. I wish I had you know what? There's a size smaller than this in Googly Eyes. I just don't have it. If you have the smaller size, I would recommend it. This is going to make him look like he's got some really big eyes, but I'm okay with it. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside for now. We'll deal with the face later. First, I want to just get the base done because I generally like to start with the base whenever possible. And we'll go through this step by step together. Now, the vast majority of the things we're going to be using today, I picked up from my local dollar store. So I highly recommend that you do the same. This is a 14-inch wire wreath frame. I either got it from Dollar Tree or Dollarama, and that applies to basically everything we're going to be using today. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by gluing this down to a frame, and we're going to start wrapping. Now, I actually don't think I can glue it down because I forgot to turn on my heat gun. And I don't think, not my heat gun, my glue gun. And I don't think I even have the tiniest bit of glue that would come out at this point. So we'll just be patient. And I'm going to, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll tie it. I don't know. I'm going to start trying to wrap it and we'll see what happens. And if it doesn't stay in place enough, then I'll pin it down until I can glue it down. It's fine. Okay. So basically all we're going to do is just wrap this all the way around the wreath. Get out of here, Eyes. It's not time for you. But I'm going to do it like glue it to the frame, and then we're going to flip it over so that it's right side up, and then we can keep a track of it because you definitely want to be able to see how it looks on the outside. Now, before I get started, I'm going to tell you rule number 1 about wrapping a wreath in any material, whatever it may be. Always keep track of your ball. Whether it's yarn or ribbon or I don't care what it is, just always keep track of it. You'll see what I mean. You always want to make sure that you're going in the right direction and you're not going too far. So like I said, we're going to wait for my heat gun, again, Mary, glue gun to warm up. And then I'm going to, you know what? I don't even think that's a problem. Hold on. Let me go backwards because I don't even think I'm going to need to glue it down if I wrap over it. So I'm going to pull this up a little bit and wrap over the frame. And now I'm going to just overlap it. Oh boy, I pulled that way too tight. We're just going to overlap it. I'll hold it down with my finger until that's good. And then once the glue gun is warm, I'll put a little bit of glue there. Now, you can always put a drop of glue anywhere around here, okay? You could put one on each of the crossbars. You could put a little bit, a drop here, a drop there, if you want to make sure that they stay in the exact spot that they're in. But I actually like to be able to push the yarn one way or the other. So I like having the option of doing that. So I'm not going to be putting any glue. And I also don't think it's necessary. This wrapping will hold in place without any problem. I probably won't even need to put glue if I don't want to, but I will. Okay. Do you see what I mean about keeping track of it? I can't let it unravel too much or I'm going to end up with a knot. Look at that. Isn't that cute? It's so nice and soft. It's such a lovely texture. I can see why people, and I think I say this every time I work with this, I can see why people use this for blankets and like cozy sweaters because, oh God, such a nice texture. Okay, I got to tell you, I'm really excited about this wreath. I've been thinking about it for a long time. I saw an inspiration pin on Pinterest, and I was like, well, that's a cool idea. And now we're going to make it Mary style and see if it comes out as cute as I think it will. Because the way I want to do the arms and the legs is I'm going to cut black yarn into long pieces. Then we're going to tie a knot at the top so that they're all gathered together on one end. And I'm going to secure them, like hold it down with a dumbbell that I have sitting over here. And then I'm going to braid the black ribbon, not ribbon, yarn. And we're going to make little skinny arms and little skinny legs. They're going to be really cute and they're going to floop off the side because they're just going to be made of yarn. So they're not going to stick out or anything. They'll probably like, I'm going to glue it to the back. So they'll probably kind of like just hang a little bit. I don't know. That's the way I have it pictured in my head. And then we're going to do the same with the little feet. And we're going to top the hands and the feet with black pom-poms. Let me show you. Look. It's going to be so cute. I'm really excited. We have to clean those up. But one step at a time. First, we're going to continue wrapping. Now, you see how I'm keeping track of my ball of yarn? I'm not going any farther. I'm only doing one loop at a time, and then I move the ball because you can get excited and be like, oh, I'll just wrap it a few times. Don't do that. It will totally destroy your life. Don't do it. Okay. So this is the kind of technique that I always encourage people to use the first time they make a wreath. If you find wreath making intimidating, I highly recommend you hang out at the IHC craft room because we make super, super simple wreaths that are really pretty. And I'll teach you a lot of really simple techniques that don't require any crazy skill and won't cost a lot of money. We're going to get the vast majority of our materials from the dollar store. And I'll teach you to make all kinds of wreaths. They'll be so pretty. This one's going to be so lovely when it's done. It's going to be so cute. So anyway, this is one of my favorite techniques to teach somebody when they're first learning wreath making, which is the wrap the material around the base technique. And depending on the material that you use, you will have a very different base all around. I have wrapped again, I haven't done deco mesh yet, but I've actually used everything else that I can think of. Burlap, this chunky yarn, oh my gosh, ribbon, you know, you name it. If you have it and you want to wrap it around here, you can. You could use a scarf if you have a few festive scarves. You know, maybe we'll do that for Canada Day because I feel like there's almost always a Canada Day scarf somewhere. I'll wrap the base wreath with that. I've never done that before. So Mary from the future, make note of that. We're going to do that this year. We're going to make a scarf wreath. But anyway, you just definitely want to keep track of, that's like the number one thing. Everything else is just you're wrapping. It's a really straightforward, simple thing. And look how pretty that looks. Look, we're already halfway done. And it's like 8 minutes in. It's a joke. It's like super fast and simple, right? And I even got this chunky yarn from the dollar store, which I have to say is unusual. In the past, if I've ever wanted a thick yarn like this, I've bought it from Michael's Canada using a 30 or 40% off coupon. Because why? Mary never pays full price at Michael's. Thank you. I'm glad you knew that. I say it every time I talk about it because use their coupons, guys. And I normally get things like this. This is something I consider a specialty material, a chunky yarn. I get things like that from Michael's for the most part. But I really lucked out, I want to say a few months ago, before Christmas probably. And I went to a Dollarama somewhere in my neighborhood, and they had these big balls of chunky yarn. And I managed to find some white ones. They had like gray and light blue. I kind of regret not getting one of the other colors too, honestly. But anyway, I got a couple of these white ones, and oh man, they are so lovely. Nice and thick. I don't even know what size yarn this would be. Like an 8 in thickness. I feel like it would have to be something high, a high number. But it's super duper soft. It feels like, oh my God, I don't even know what to tell you. It feels like the softest thing ever. Anyway, I got a couple of these big chunky yarn balls from Dollarama. So you never know. You can get lucky. Make sure you have a look and poke through their yarn bins, because they do have, like, I mean, in my neighborhood at least, they have little bins under their shelves or whatever that are full of yarn in different sizes. I think all of the yarn we're using today actually is from Dollarama. Boy, we are hoofing it. How's my glue gun doing? Oh, it's toasty now. Okay. So we'll be able to glue this down after. So yeah, that means everything that we're using tonight. Yeah, everything that we're using tonight is from the dollar store, including what we're going to use to make the lamb head. I've been thinking about that, because it's not often that I, cut something out to make for the head. Usually, if anything, I might dot paint something, but I'm thinking what we're going to do for the head is I'm going to actually I have a file folder, like to file your paperwork. And I like the texture of it is hard enough that I feel like it'll give it enough substance that I can glue it to my wreath, but not so hard that it's going to be impossible for me to cut it to the shape that I need. And then we're going to glue some felt to it, and we're going to cut it out. That's the plan. Again, haven't done that before, so we'll see how it plays out. I have to say, I do a lot of new things on this channel all the time. Maybe not new to other people, but new to me. And some of them are really successful, and some of them are pretty not successful. That's okay. Then we pivot. Find an alternative. Cover it up with something. It's fine. It's fine. Nobody's going to notice. All right, guys, we're almost done. Look at this. We're hauling butt. It's like 12 minutes. Less than 15 minutes to finish this. That's crazy. That's wunderbar. Just to put that into perspective, on average, when you're doing a base, I've done them for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to complete the base. Sometimes it's 30 minutes, but usually it's leaning into a little bit more time than that. So this is a really fast wrap. Now, of course, if you wanted this to be even tighter, you could continually be pushing the yarn so that it's compacting this more. But I actually really wanted it to have this like thicker texture, which is why I'm not pushing as I wrap. I should have mentioned that earlier, actually. All I'm really making sure is that my wreath isn't showing through. The frame isn't showing through, which it's not. So we're good. Yeah, and these big balls of yarn that I got from not Costco, from Dollarama, this one that I'm using right now, I think I've managed to wrap at least 2 or 3 wreaths with it already. So it's a quite a large roll as well. So I really scored, and I want to say it was like $5, because Dollarama is never $1 anymore. Oh man, hold on. Okay, there you go. Okay, we are at the last 2 pieces. Gonna wrap that one more time. I'm gonna tuck that in there nicely. And we're gonna flip this over. I wanna make sure none of the wreath ring is showing through. You know what? I think I'm actually not gonna worry about that beginning layer because it's not in any way moving. So I'm going to just leave it alone. There's no need to disturb it if it's staying in place. And what we're just going to do is I'm going to run a line of glue right down here and plop this in there. Okay. We'll just hold that in place. Let me get my finger protectors. I say this every time I use these because I feel this strongly about it. I got my finger protectors at Dollar Tree. If you find finger protectors, please buy them. You're welcome. I've just saved your life. The burns I have received from hot glue, I don't want to talk about it. I'm traumatized. It's a thing. I don't want to discuss it, but definitely use yourself some finger protectors when you're around hot glue and you need to interact. All right, so I'm going to give this a quick trim. We're wonderbar. Thank you very much for your assistance. We don't need you anymore, toodaloo. All right, so we're going to set this aside and let it dry, but our base is done in 15 minutes or less. Whoa, whoa. I'm very pleased with that. Okay, off you go. Now, we're going to do a couple of things. We've got to either do the face or the arms and legs. Let's do the face. We'll do the face first. Okay, so here's my plan. I am going to cut this out and trace it onto this file folder on this side. On this side, I'm going to glue some felt. And then I'm going to cut this out and flip it over, and it should be beautiful. Because it should. If it is or isn't, I don't know. But I'm hopeful it is. Okay. So I'm just going to give this a quick cut. Again, if you're crafting along with me, I have this as a downloadable in the description below so that you can, oh my gosh, I don't really need to be this perfect about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that deep. You know what I mean? As the kids say, it's not that deep. Oh, it makes me sad to think, I mean, I don't mind getting older, but it makes me sad to think that I'm officially saying words and lingo that is super cringy now to like the younger generation. It's painful. You're one of those now. And like, you know, we are aware of the slang of the younger folk, but I feel like it's even more like painful if somebody my age tries to talk like that. Like, just chill. We all know that's not the way you're actually talking in your like real life. Stop trying to be younger than you are. All right, this is going to be a blast to cut after. You know what? Actually, this part you won't even see very well because I'm going to put a little poof of hair right on his forehead. I don't know what you call these. Curves? Loops? They're not loops. They're curves. Seashells? This reminds me of when I was in elementary school and you used to make a border for the classroom class. Like the blackboard in the classroom. You'd like have to do the border and cut them in these little, yeah, just keep talking about how old you are, Mary, because it's cool. I think it's because this actually is making me feel a little nostalgic because this is such a cute little project. I could totally see a kid having a lot of fun doing a project like this. So if you have a child in your life, perhaps see if they're interested in making a chunky white lamb wreath with you, because I think this is a lot of fun. You know what I also really like about these cartoon faces when you find them online is because it's the eyeballs. Those big eyes are just so cute, right? You can't help but go, oh, you're a cute little lamb, aren't you? I'm not sure if I'm going to put the mouth on it or not. I've seen it both ways when I've seen like this type of wreath online. And I may or may not. I might like paint it on or I might just leave it with no mouth. We'll see. We'll see how much attitude it has. Alrighty. Now, let's have a quick comparison of what this will look on our base wreath. Do we feel like it's the right size? Here, you get out of here. Or should I make it a tiny bit bigger? I kind of want it bigger, but then on the other hand, I kind of really like the idea of it being a tiny head and a huge body. It just seems kind of funny to me because have you ever seen like those sheeps that are just like really poofy and then they've got these little tiny heads? But I might actually try to make it a little bit bigger when I trace it. So maybe just a tiny bit. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. Let's do it on the front. So maybe I will. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to trace it first as well as I can, because whatever. And then I'm going to try to like make it larger and just mimic it. I don't even know how to describe that. I'll just show you. Man, it's been a minute since I've traced something. Not as good as it as I thought. You'd think it's a skill that you'd be really good at, Mary, but no. But I struggle with this even when I'm doing my chalk transfer, when I do dot painting. I always go off of the line and make it a little bit wonky. That's okay. I'm cute. Okay. Not bad. Stick around. What I'm saying is I'll just go a little further out. We'll mimic it. If you've ever been on my channel before, you've probably heard me say many, many times that I am not good at drawing, and hence why I do these little wispy lines, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to mimic the shape, and we'll see if we like it in the end. And if not, I'll just cut the original shape we already had. That could have been shaped better. All right, I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever drawn. It's not the best thing either. Let's see if we do a little curve. What do you think? Should I use the bigger one or the smaller one? I don't actually think that's proportional, the bigger one. I feel like this needs to be longer. Let's try making it longer. What do you think? The big one or the little one? So that's the little guy. I don't know that it actually looks that good. You know what? I'm not going to worry about this right now. What I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and glue the felt on the other side. And then when we cut it out, I'll start by cutting it out in the big size. And if we don't like it, then we'll cut it down to the small size. Oh my God, look at me solving all the problems. Good for you, Mary. Okay. In here, what we're going to do is I'm going to try to glue this felt down using Mod Podge, because I really don't want to use hot glue for this, because hot glue and felt equals bumps. And I'm hoping that Mod Podge and felt does not equal bumps. So we're going to need to cover this entire thing. Is that good? Or should I go this way? I think that's fine. It's not right to the edge, is it? Oh, that one is. Okay, so just go up to the top there. And what if it doesn't? You know what? Let's go on the safe side. We know that's going to work for sure. Okay, so I'm just going to lay some Mod Podge down. I hope this works. Your guess is as good as mine. It should, though. Mod Podge is supposed to be a glue. It says water-based glue, sealer, and finish. So right now you're going to glue it up for me. Okay. I feel like I have to move fast. like this is gonna start drying up and then I'm gonna get angry. Oh my gosh, that's way too much. You know what? It's fun to be able to paint something that it doesn't matter what it looks like. You know what I mean? You don't worry if it's streaky. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit weird. As long as you've covered what you need to cover, you're good. I love it. Fun. Oh boy. Okay. I'm really being heavy-handed with this intentionally. I'm hoping that, okay, scoot. Oh, Mary, I just made a mess. I can't see. Let's go this way. Okay. I hope this works. I've never done this before. I think it'll work. It should work. Okay, you are going to now dry for a few minutes, and I'm going to try to clean that off because it's covered in glue. I have a little cup of water sitting off to the side here, but I don't think that's going to cut it. This is like, okay, now you sit in the water. Okay. I really hope that this does stick. I mean, I think it will eventually. Actually, I wish I had like one of those old school glue sticks from when we were kids that were purple and then they would dry white. That would have been really good, I think. No, it's sticking. How about you? Okay. We're doing all right. Okay, I'm going to actually trim. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to trim that. I'm just going to start cutting, I think. It's a little bit. I don't know what I want to say it is. A little bit something. Okay, I got this dirty with that Mod Podge. I'm going to cut this because it's going to irk me. So we'll cut you first. Thank you. This is my newest pair of scissors. I have gone through so many pairs of scissors and I'm way too cheap to buy good scissors, but I really, really should. I need to go like a material store, like a fabric land or something, and see if they have like fabric scissors that properly cut, because man alive. All right, first we're going to cut the big face. Let's see what we think of it. Okay. I'm really interested to see what this is going to turn out like. I think that's one of the things that I like the most about crafting is, yeah, you have a plan. You have an idea of what you want to do. And in your head, it's going to work out real great. But then when you're actually doing it, lots of times, not so much. But every once in a while, it really does come out the way you had planned. And I'm hoping this is going to be one of those ones where I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I might have to apply a little bit more Mod Podge over here. But I think we're doing very well. Lucky it's a pretty basic shape. Or else I wouldn't have done it. I only have so much hand power. It's actually the reason why I pre-made the pom-poms for the hands and the feet. Making pom-poms is kind of hard on my hands. So Mary from the future, when we get to that part, is going to pin a video in the corner if you're watching on the replay to show you exactly how to make them. But I'm not doing that today. Okay, so this turned out amazing. Get out of here. I think that's a great size. Okay, I'm going to glue that side down, but I want to see, what do we think? I think that's better than this little guy, right? I think so. It's more proportional. Oh, I'm very pleased. That came out really, really well. Ugh, don't you just love it when things go the way you had planned? What I didn't plan ahead for was the fact that I would need to add some more Mod Podge, and I put my paintbrush in water. So we'll use a different one. I just don't want it to lift off. You don't want to be able to see. Beautiful. Again, I don't think we're going to see these little peaks on the top. We're going to work on that next. The little hair, the little bit of poof hair on his face. Oh, I got some on the table. I better wipe it before it gets sticky. Boop. Okay. How about over here? Wonderful. Oh, I got a little bit on there. I hope it goes away. All right. We are in good shape here. I'm going to close this up. Now, we have the eyes that we need to add. The googly eyes. If you don't have googly eyes, you can also use, and I did grab some white felt and cut that into little circles. And then you can use a tiny, tiny bit of black felt as well. That's another wonderful way to do it, but I'm lazy and I had these. So we're going to do some googly eyes. Close together and in the center. Oh my God, how cute is that? Get out of here. Ooh, this is great. Okay. Should we leave it right there? Okay, now that you can see them side by side, mouth or no mouth? Ooh, I can't decide. That's going to be hard. How can I decide that? Because I'd have to draw it on. You'd have to see it. Ooh, I kind of think I want the mouth on it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. I can't decide. I'm going to think about it for a bit. You know what? I didn't curve these ears at all, and these are super curved. Should I curve them a little bit? I think maybe I will. What do I mean by that? Like this? Or am I going to mess it up now? No, I think that does look better though. So basically, why am I having a hard time with my brain now? I think I want it like that. Yeah. Do we want to do it or do we want to leave it? Oh, I don't really need to. I kind of want to though. So cut it like that and then like that. I'm nervous that I'm going to actually end up screwing it up. But did that stop me? Nope. As it shouldn't, you know? It's just a craft. Try. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We'll make another one. I have more felt. I have another piece of foil. I'm glad I did that. I like it. This corner. Yeah, I'm just gonna curve that a little bit. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a little change, but I like it. I think it makes a difference. It makes them look a little bit more realistic. Because you know how realistic all of those lamb felt heads are, right? Okay. Ooh, I can't decide, but I think I might do that. In which case, I'm going to be using a little bit of acrylic paint. But first, let's glue on the eyeballs because I feel like that'll help us decide if we want to have. The only thing I don't like about felt is that everything gets stuck to it. You always have these floofs and stuff. It gets annoying. Okay. Is that a good spot? Or should we go lower? No, that makes them look simple. Oh, but it has to be there because I got to put the hair. You know what? I can't glue anything. We need to make the hair first. Because if I put it in the wrong spot, then we won't be able to do the hair. Okay, so what we're going to do for the hair is I'm going to wrap this yarn around my hand. And then I'm going to cut it. It's almost like the way you would make a pom-pom, old school. But I want it to kind of be sparse. I don't want this to be like some huge poofy poof. I feel like that might be enough. Maybe a little more. Okay. So now I'm going to take another piece. I'll make it long to make my life easier. I'm going to slide this off my hand. This makes sense in my head. I hope it works out in real life. And then I'm going to put a piece of yarn through here so I can tie it between my fingers. So it comes out the other side. That's good. Okay. And then we are going to pull. And right in the center, I'm going to tie it. Is that where I want to tie it? Yeah, right there. So I'm going to try to make a knot without losing where I am. Hold on. Okay. Good. I'm going to tie another knot just so that this doesn't come apart. And then what I'm going to do is cut all of these loops right down the center. Okay, I want it to be kind of messy and floopy. Let me cut these down because it doesn't need to be any longer than the other ones. And then, what do you think? I kind of like that a lot. I don't know if I maybe want it to be a little bit longer. Let's see. Do we want it to be longer? What do you think? Or is it perfect just the way it is? And then the eyes will go there. Move you away. And then when we do the little mouth, I think I'll put this a little higher actually. So then his eyes can go a little higher. That's cute. I think I'm good with that. Yeah. I'm kind of debating if I want it to be just a little bit longer, but I mean, it's fine. All right, I'm going to start gluing these down because I'm happy with them. So I'm just going to put a little drop of glue right here. And we are going to plop this right in the center. I really wanted this. You notice I didn't clean it up in any way, trying to level them out. I don't want them level. I want this little poof on the top to be crazy because I'm sorry, no lamb is combed. And I just like the look of this frazzled kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it's like endearing. Oh, is there a loop? I missed a cut. Okay. Very cute. Okay, now we got to put these guys down. This is the thing I'm the most concerned about because if you miss the place where you want to put your eyes, you're going to be unhappy. I feel like that's the perfect spot. So I'm going to leave one in place. No, I should put it on here, not on there. Why I'm saying this is when you're holding something in your hand like this or like a jewel or something, it's easy to misplace it when you've got the glue in your hand. And that is really, really frustrating. If you drop it with the glue on the eye in this case, and it lands somewhere, it's really frustrating. So a lesson that I continually have to keep reminding myself is to place the glue and then place the item, the jewel, the eyeball, whatever the smaller item is. All right. What do you think? I think that's good. I'm happy with that. They look level to me. What do you guys think? Welcome. We are making a little lamb wreath today. I'm so excited. Look at his eyeball. Welcome to the IHC Craft Room. If you're enjoying what you're watching, I would really appreciate if you could hit that like button. It helps me out a ton, and I hate asking, but if I don't, I will never get in front of anybody, and then we won't be able to have fun together, and I'll be sad. Okay, I am going to paint on... Oh, did I glue you to the table? No, just a little bit. Solo poquito. I am going to draw this little mouth on here. I have some paint, and I'm going to use a skinny paintbrush because I don't want to make it thick, but seeing as it's going to be paint, it is going to be a little bit on the thicker side because I'm not good at making it thin. I don't care to go get a paint palette for this, so I'm just going to put a little bit in the lid. And we're going to just copy what that looks like. So it's basically, let's say, what do you think? Is it in the middle? It doesn't matter because it's on there now. If it's in the middle or if it's not, he'll have a crooked nose. We're just going to make it smoother. This side in particular looks jacked. This is just white acrylic paint that I picked up from Dollarama. All of my paint is from Dollarama or Dollar Tree. Usually Dollarama, though. I prefer it. This Decor craft acrylic. It's super versatile. What do you think? Cute? Should I make them a little longer? Maybe a little longer. That one's a little fatter now. I'm going to have to fatten this one up. That's good. What do you think? Cute, right? I think it's cute. I'm happy. I'm happy I did that. It would have looked nice, though, without it, too. So if you're not comfortable doing this or gambling the way I just did, then by all means, leave it out, because without it, it's still really cute. Okay. So we've got our lamb head ready to go. Now we got to work on his limbs. So you can skedaddle. Thank you for your inspiration. I'm going to now set you aside. Well, you can hang out. You can watch. So what we're going to do next is I am going to use some black yarn and this 10-pound dumbbell that really made my shoulders hurt this morning, in case anybody was wondering. We're going to use this. I, again, got this yarn from Dollarama for $2.50. See? Check out your local dollar stores, guys. You'd be surprised the stuff you can get. All right. So what we're going to do is I am going to cut. I don't know how long I want them to be. Maybe this long. And I'm just going to cut a whole bunch of them. And what we're going to do, oh, are you going to be a pain? I should have rolled you into a ball before this. What is this? What the heck? All right, focus. So basically, we're going to make braids out of this. And the braids are going to be the arms and the legs. And then we're going to top them with a little poof. The little pom-pom I pre-made. Because pom-poms are painful for my hands. So I tried. I've done them live more than once, and I feel bad for you guys to watch me make a pom-pom, and I have to stop every 5 seconds to shake out my hands. Carpal tunnel is a thing, my friends. It really, really is. Do I want it any thicker than this? I think I do. Hi there, Tony. Thanks for joining. We are making a cute little chunky yarn lamb wreath tonight. And we are currently working on the limbs. Little legs and little arms. I'm not sure how long I want them to be. I don't want them to like drag the floor or anything, but let's do a little more. Okay. Okay, let's do 3 more and then we'll stop. 2 and 3. Okay. Cut you. Now, I am going to tie a knot at the top of this. I could cut these all. Maybe I should. It might be easier. But I'm still going to put a knot at the top so that they're all together. It'll make it easier for me to attach it to the wreath. And I think it'll also make it easier for me to braid it. So I'm just going to kind of line these up a little bit. I don't really think it matters, but I'm Mary, and weird things like this bug me all the time. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm going to tie a knot by tying it around my fingers, and then I'm going to slide it through the loop I made, and then we're going to push this knot up to the top as far as we can. Okay. Oh, careful, Mary. All right, beautiful. Now that's going to make it easier for me to glue it to the back of the wreath. Now we're going to cut these guys. I tried to make them even, but it's not easy. I mean, when I was measuring it out, I tried to keep it roughly the same, but you know, it would have been better if I wrapped it around something, I guess. Okay, are you guys all unlooped? Yes. Okay, so this is what I needed this dumbbell for. I want to braid this. So I'm going to do that by placing this under my dumbbell. Hopefully it'll hold it in place the way I want it to. And we are going to split this into 3 pieces. If you've never braided anything before, this is how I know how to braid. You split it into 3 pieces, like so. Let's move this out of the way. And then we're going to crisscross. So I like to grab them all in my hand. This is how I braid my hair. Criss, cross. And you grab with one hand and you cross over with the other. Maybe I should do this slower. I don't even know how to explain this. This is going to cross over this one, just like that. And now this one is going to cross over the one that we just crossed over. I don't even know how to explain that any better. I'm sorry. You'll just have to watch and see if you can practice it. I don't know how to make that any better. Okay. Now, something I should have done that I didn't think of is cut myself a little piece of yarn to tie at the bottom here. So let's do that now. Usually, I would be doing this to my hair and I would have an elastic. But this isn't about you, Mary. This is about the lamb. I'm going to tie a little knot just to keep these all gathered on the bottom here. Tie that. Beautiful. Oh yeah, that's going to be great. That's a nice size. I got to try to make it just as thick. The other 3. Okay, so let me give you the vision and then we're going to keep going because we have to make a few more. Are you tied well? I lost the other side of it. Oh, well, I guess you are tied well. Then we're going to tie a little. I'm going to have to tidy these up so that you only see the ball. But I'm going to tie these balls, these little pom-poms to the bottom. And we're going to trim this part off and just attach the pom-pom to the bottom. But I haven't cleaned up the pom-poms yet. So we'll do that after we make all of our braids. So we've got one braid done. And this is going to be, let me show you what the vision is. This is going to be an arm. A little floopy arm with pom-pom. I think that might be a little bit long for the arm. Maybe we'll do this for the legs. And we'll make the arms a little bit shorter. I think that's the plan. We're going to do that. Let's get you out of here. So we want another one that's about this length. And then maybe we'll half it for the... Okay, I'm obviously going to lose some length when you braid. So I'm going to make this at least that much longer. Well, yeah, because, hi. That's good. If it's too long, it's not a problem. We can just trim it down. I wish I had counted how many I did before for that one. That's okay. We're going to eyeball it. I got to keep an eye on my glue gun because if the battery dies, it'll get cold. Oh, see, it's already low. After I tie this, I'll switch the battery. Move a bit more. I guess I didn't really need to braid it. I could have just tied it at the top and at the bottom and left it stringy in the middle. So keep that in mind because that would have looked just as fine. If you don't know how to braid or you don't want to braid it, don't. Just tie it at the top and tie it at the bottom and look at that. You have a leg just the same. I think that's enough. We're going to go ahead. Let's get prepared this time. Brava. Okay. I'm actually not going to trim one end because we obviously know it's not necessary. Let me just tie it. So again, what I'm going to do is tie it around my finger like this. Then we're going to slide that loop off. I just shoved my thumb through it so that I can grab the ends and pull them through that loop. All the way through. I'm missing a couple. Get out of there, guys. Get out there, guys. We've got them all? I think so. Now I'm going to pull this through. You know what? This is harder than having cut the loops, I feel like. Okay. Are you tight? Okay. Not bad. Well, don't forget, I gotta braid them now. It might be shorter. But we can cut them at any time anyway. Cut them down. Make them a little bit shorter. Is that it? I think so. Okay. Watch my fingers, please, senor. Okay, we're going to braid these again. So split it into 3. I don't really know how to explain this any better than I did the last time. So just watch my hands. I'll try to go slow. And basically, you're just crisscrossing them over each other and passing them back and forth between your hands. So I'm going to cross this one and the one on this side. Then I'm going to take this one and cross it to that one. See? I don't know how to describe this. This is hard to describe. I've been doing this since I was a child because I've always had long hair and I like to braid it from time to time. I actually haven't braided my hair in a long time. Yeah, because I'm not a child anymore. Well, that's not true. You don't have to be a child to have a braid in your hair. There's lots of beautiful, sophisticated styles with braids, and I'm nothing if not sophisticated. Sophisticata. I'm definitely not sophisticated. I'm making a lamb wreath. But he's gonna be cute. Oh, that got a little messy. Let's straighten you out. Not really sure how we're gonna end off the bottoms. We'll see. Thinking I'm just going to cut them as short as possible and then glue it to the pom-pom. We'll see. How do we do in length? Almost identical. I'm happy with that. Okay, so we've got a couple of legs. Now we're going to make them short, some short arms. They need to be shorter than that for sure. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's see. How short do we want them? Like this? That still feels like it's almost just as long. I think that's good because it's going to get shorter when we braid it, of course. Mary. I don't think I want the arms to be as thick either. I think I want them to be a little bit more stringy. So I might just stop here, make them skinnier than the legs. I think that'll look funnier. Okay, so I'm going to tie this one at the top. Oh, crap. I lost a hold of it. That's okay. Tie around my finger. Then I'm going to pull it off my finger, thread my thumb through it if I can. This is I might not have to be able to do this way. It might be too small. And I might have to tie it with a piece of yarn instead. We'll see. Nope, I got it through. I think I got it through. Now this is going to make the arms too short if I do it this way. I'm going to undo this knot. Okay. And instead what we're going to do is I'm going to tie it with a tiny piece of yarn. And then I won't lose as much real estate. And my little arms will be longer. Dude. Okay. I'm going to try to scoot it as far down as possible. There we go. Nice and tight. Okay, now that that's tight, I'm going to cut these loops. Is that all of them? Yeah, I think so. Now let's see the difference in length. Oh, that's great. Okay, you guys over there. I'm going to, hold that down. Okay. Split this into 3 again, like that. Try to make them even size. Oh yeah, these are going to be nice and skinny. And that means the pom-poms are going to look so big. It's going to be so funny. I'm trying to when you see those little stuffed animals in the store that have really long floopy legs and they wear those cute little shoes, I feel like this is the vibe I'm going for, but via pom-poms instead of little cute shoes. Okay, I can't do any more down here, so stay there. Stay. I don't know if I got it all straight. There. Beautiful. Much, much skinnier than the other one. and shorter. Oh, I didn't mean to pull that off. Yeah, okay, I'm not opening that. That's actually the reason why I was tying the knot physically on the strings as opposed to putting an extra string tie knot at the top like we're doing now. But that's okay. Okay. Double knot always. Alrighty. Look at the difference between the arms and the legs. Lots of leg days. I wonder if I'm gonna like that or hate that. We'll see. If we hate it, we'll make another set of arms instead. It is okay. So we definitely don't need these to be long like this. Okay, get out of here, scram. Let's start making our next arm. Teeny tiny arm. A little bit longer than how it turns out. That's good. An easier way to do this would have been to find an object, maybe like a book or something, that you could wrap it around and then just cut end to end rather than doing this back and forth that I'm doing. But that's how I'm doing it. I feel like that's as thick as we're going to go. Let's get you ready. No, I could just make the loop ahead of it. And then tuck it. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work, silly lady. Okay. Tie a quick knot so that we've got that end all together. I'm going to scoot it as far as I can and tighten that knot up. Put another knot in it. Okay. Now we're going to cut these loops. Scoot. Okay. And we'll split you into 3. Okay. This one's way thicker. Hold on. All right. It's all well and good when you have a lot in your hand, but when you get to the end, it's tricky. At some point, you just stop and go, okay, that's the end. Right there. This one might be a little bit chunkier than that one. Oh, well. You know what? That's how humans are too. One side of our body's bigger than the other. It is significantly fatter though, and longer. That's okay. I bet you won't even notice it. And if you do, oh well. Okay, so we've got our arms and our legs ready to go. What do you think? Okay, so next we're going to get our, first of all, let me change the battery on my glue gun. or I'm going to really regret it because this one is flashing in my fotch. Okay, you guys off to the side. What we're going to do now is clean up these pom-poms. And before I do that, let's have a quick chat about how to make these pom-poms. Where do I have? Yeah. Okay. I bought this pom-pom making set from Dollar Tree. It comes in 3 sizes, obviously. And I am using this little green one for these tiny little pom-poms. I'm going to explain this to you very quickly because I'm not going to do this live because it hurts my hands. And then you'll have to sit here waiting for me to do this a lot. So the way these work is it comes in this like ball shape, okay? And you're just going to open up each side of these halves that are here. This half circle and this half circle open up, and there's that white piece in the center, okay? So what you're gonna do is take some yarn and wrap it around each of these curves. And you're gonna fill it up and wrap it as tightly as you can, fill it as full as you can, and then you're going to close it up like that and flip this over and do the same thing here. You're going to wrap, 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 and then close that up. And once they're closed up like this, do you see how there's this line in between? That line is where we're going to start working. We're going to start cutting with scissors all the way up that line. And little by little, they're going to separate. And you'll be able to see the separation between your loops. And you're going to do this side, and then you're going to do that side. And once you've done all of that cutting, you're going to grab these little feet and pull down hard because it's going to be a little tough and challenging to pull on it. So you're going to pull down hard and do the same thing on this side. Open up those feet, pull down hard, and then you're going to take these 2 white pieces and you're going to pull them apart. And your pom-pom will fall right out. And that's how you make a pom-pom with a pom-pom maker. Now, if you want to see me do it live, Mary from the future will put a replay in the corner up here where I've made a bunch of these in other videos, but I will spare you this evening. When I made them, I left these really long strings when I tied the center, specifically because I wasn't sure if I was going to tie them to this or glue it. I don't know. So we'll see. All I'm going to do now is just trim this down, level these out a little bit. Because right now it looks like it's got bed head. Not that I'm going to make it perfect. I mean, you totally could if you have the patience and you want to sit here all night trimming down pom-poms, go for it. I'll tell you, if I wasn't on a live stream, I totally would. To me, this is kind of like fluffing a bow or a ribbon. I'll like sit there and mess with it for eternity. So we're not going to spend too much time doing it, but a bit. All right, that'll do. As soon as I said that'll do, what happened? Oh, she started cutting some more. Oh, what a surprise. Okay, cute. So this is the vision. Somehow we're going to connect those. We'll see how. Haven't figured that out yet. I'm thinking it's probably going to be glue because I don't think tying it is going to keep it in place where I want it to be. Oh, you're really messy. You're a messy guy. All right, that'll do. What happens when Mary says she's done? She has to do at least a few more. It's kind of like I'm Italian, and when we leave somebody's house and we say, okay, it's time to go. It takes about 20 more goodbyes before you actually leave the house. What can I say? It is my culture. Stay here, stay here. Stay a while. Okay, we are about an hour and 15 minutes in, and we are coming up on the end. We're about to put all of the pieces together. We've wrapped our base wreath with some really fun, chunky white yarn. Our wreath frame. We made ourselves a little lamb face, which, by the way, for those of you who are just joining, if you're interested in crafting along, I made a downloadable with that little lamb head that you can use as your stencil to create your own little lamb head. So check that out. It's in the description below. Wow, you're kind of out of control, bro. Look at you. Oh, no. Trying to hide that guy from me, hey? I am too sleek for you. I am sleek. All right. I think you're good. You're good. One more. Okay. Look at this one. Looks like a little torpedo. Let's see if we can get it to get rounded out. We're gonna try. You can use regular scissors for this, by the way. I just happen to have these really fancy ones. These are my sharpest scissors, but they're so tiny that they're not really super useful unless the project is small like this. But you were made for this, little scissors. This is your time to shine. Yeah, buddy. All right, we're getting there. This is getting a little more under control. Let's see. Oh, that's a lot better. Hey, contrólate. We can do a little better than that. Okay. Beautiful. I am pleased. Oh, you had to do that, eh? Okay. We've got our pom-poms ready to party. Let's just clean this a little bit. Un poquito. Oh, that is really fuzzy. Let me see. What do I have that I can use? Let's use a paper towel. Oh, that worked really well. Okay. Alrighty. Now, we got to figure out how to get these pom-poms attached here and clean up the bottoms of all of these. So, I'm either going to tie them on and then really trim that out. Let's see. Let's try that. Okay, 4 knots is plenty, Mary. Oh, boy. Honestly, guys, 2 knots would have been enough, okay? Just to be clear. All right. Now, let's trim. Where'd you go? Let's trim all of these down so that you don't even see them anymore. They kind of blend in. Oh my God, how cute does that look? Okay, I'm okay with that. Am I ready to cut this string? Because I'm Pero. I did 4 knots, right? I said 4. 4 is more than enough, right? So why am I making 1 more? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, here we go. We're going to cut this off. All right. Just trim. This guy's really long for some reason. Let's see. Yippee! That's what I had planned in my little head. All right, we got one arm done. Let's do arm number 2. Well, if I do this one, I don't even have to cut it much. I'm going to pre-tie it and slide that through and tie it right at the top, right at the tippy top. That's good. Okay. So, hey, if you guys are watching me tie this right now, please look away. I'm not tying 5 times. I think you're tying it 5 times when really you could have just tied it twice. And now I've lost track of how many I actually tied because I'm too busy talking not to count. That's okay. It's fine. As long as it's on there, that's all we want. We want to make sure we can not lose these. We don't want the feet to fall off or the hands to fall off, you know? That would be muy no bueno. Now this little loop is sticking out a little bit. We're going to try to cut them. Actually, this is a good example of why we should have cut the loops in the first place. Remember those 2 or 3 that I didn't cut the loops off? I just left them as loops. Now they're showing themselves. So we're going to trim them down. What happened to you? Okay. Move. So cute. All right. Arms are done. How cute is that? Get out of here. Oh my God, I'm so thrilled. It's funny because, you know, you make plans in your head of how something's going to look, and then you never really know. So it's fun when it works out. Okay, so which side do I want to tie it to? I'm thinking this side because the big knots that I made, I think will be better on the top. So, are you really well tied? Can I trust you? I think so. Okay, I'm going to make a pre-loop down here. Mary. Okay, let me try that again. This ball's getting a little aggressive with its movements. Okay, we're going to make a little knot or loop and then feed that through it. Okay, and tighten this. That's good. Now, do I want it lower? I think I want it lower. I can't go any lower. I have to tie it right in the same spot as this one because these are not all the same length. And then I'm going to end up in a predicament. So I'm going to tie it there. I think that's a good spot. 2, 3. All right. I tied these on so tight that somebody would have to come at them for real with intention. Now let's trim these guys down. And blend them right into that pom-pom. Oh my gosh, these look so cute. Where did you come from? Better not start unraveling on me. How we doing? You could use a little fixing still. All right, I think we're there. We got one leg done. We're on our last leg. And then we're going to be able to put this guy together. Okay, let's make sure this is tied tightly. See, some of these are coming out because they're a little short. Yeah. Well, I ruined that piece of string. Let's hold on to you. Okay. Actually, I've never been able to do that on here. I'm losing some of the bottom of my braid. So I'm going to keep track of that because I don't want it to be messy on the bottom. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's fine. Stay over there. It's not your turn yet. Oh, that's reassuring. It literally ripped apart. I'm like the Hulk. Rah! You see, this is why my husband always says I'm such a warrior, because I break everything. Okay. Let's tie the little ball on. A little pom-pom. I'm basically just tying this right on top of the string I just tied to close off the braid. And we're going to blend them all together. That's 2. Once again, 2 knots is plenty, okay? Do as I say, not as I do. I mean, unless you have a knot problem. All right, it's time to make you look beautiful. You know, if I had used the same yarn to make the arms and legs as I did to make the pom-poms, I wouldn't have had to work so hard to blend them in. Work so hard. It wasn't hard. But it did take a little bit of effort. Okay. I think we're there, guys. We've got all of our limbs ready. Heyo. Okay, let's get this out of here. We're going to clean up a little bit. And then we are going to start putting everything together, which is my favorite part. And I enjoy most of it, but this is definitely my favorite part, is putting it all together. Because when I plan all of these things, I have a certain image in my mind, but you never know how it's going to turn out in the end. So, all right. we've got our little lamb head. Oh my God, he's so cute. And then we've got an arm here. An arm here. Let me get this dumbbell out of here. Oh my God. How funny is this? Let me see the little feet. Oh my God, he's the happiest little lamb that ever was. Oh my God, this is so much fun. Okay, so I'm going to glue these all down now. We're going to start with the arms and legs, I think. Is that what I want to start with? I think so. They just need to be like even. First of all, let's see. Do we like where they're placed right now? I think so. They're even, right? Yeah, that's good. So what we're going to do is glue these down. I'm actually going to make this into a more of a ball. Hold on. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try. Okay, what I'm trying to do is make a knot that goes almost right up to the edge, like that. So that I have a little nubbin now, see? This is the yarn that's going to betray me. This is the one that broke earlier. So keep an eye on you. Et tu. Okay. Stay in place, bro. Let's be friends. I'm going to tie you again. And one more time. That'll do it. Now, I'm going to glue that there, that little ball. I think that'll make it easier. I don't know why, but I do. Okay, I'm going to use a couple of toothpicks. And I'm going to trim this down. And we're basically just going to make a big pool of glue. You scoot. Skedaddle. Don't get in the way. Now, we got to make sure that everything's level, so or even, or as close to even as we can. So I think that's good. I don't need you anymore. I'd say they're about even, right? I think so. All right, let's do this. We're going to put a big pool of glue right here. And then I'm going to put this little poof right in the center of it. We're going to use our finger protectors and a toothpick. I usually almost always use a toothpick when I'm putting pipe cleaners into balls of glue like this. Okay, we're going to give this a couple seconds to solidify a tiny bit. And when that fully dries, I'm probably going to put some more glue over top of it just to make sure that it's really not going to go anywhere. I doubt it will, but you know, I'm nothing if I'm not paranoid. So my glue stick is starting to, no, not yet. Okay. Mary needs a sip of water, folks. Never forget to hydrate. I've been doing a lot of chatting. All right, we're going to make 100% sure this is really, really tight. By doing what? Tying it another 100 times. That's right. You're right. You got it. First try even. One more. Okay, good. Now, we're going to do the same thing we did with that one. I'm going to make a big pool of glue and plop it in there. cut this off. Let's just make sure we are even. Is that even? I think so. All right. Okay, now my glue gun is gonna. Now you need it, eh? I think that should be enough, actually. Oh boy. Careful. These silicone finger protectors are so good. Now, it's not to say that you won't feel the heat, by the way. So they're not like fire resistant, but it does a really great job. And if it starts to get warm through the silicone mold, then get your finger away. You're about to burn yourself. All right, what do we think? Good? I think so. I think they're good. So you guys stick around over here. We're going to let them sit a little longer. And then I'm going to put another layer on top. Okay. So now you guys, I think I want them close to each other. So that when they hang like straight up and down like this. Right? We don't want them to be like trying to ride a horse or anything. Yeah, no. Definitely not. Okay. I'd say like that. Where's the center? Right there? I think that's good. Okay. These are the ones that I did a slip knot with. So I'm just going to trim this down. So that it's not sticking out of the other side. Okay. And we're going to do that. That's good. Let's do the same with you. Okay. Wonderful. Ski-daddle into the garbage. Wonderful. All right. It's feet time. Are we sure we're in the center here? I think so. I think we're in a good spot. All right, let's do this. Nice big pool of glue. And that knot's going to go right into it. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. Same spot. All right. Okay. So now we're going to have a little bit of patience because we got to let these dry at least a bit. So I'm not going to cover them the way I said. I will later, but I don't want to be waiting here for that because realistically that's going to take a minute. So what I'm planning to do is let the glue that we've currently put it in adhere and dry completely. You want it to be totally, totally dry. And then once that glue is completely dry, you're going to come back with your glue gun and just cover that, encase it in that glue. That's what my intention is. I don't know if that's going to make it adhere better. I don't know if that's not, but I figure it will. So that's what I'm intending to do. But not right now because it will take quite some time to dry if we put a bunch on top. And I want to be able to complete this. So we're going to give this a few seconds to stick a little bit and dry up a little bit. And while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to tidy up a little because why not? I'm still going to need my glue gun. Actually, we need to prepare the loop as well. So how are we going to hang this wreath? I think I'm going to use the white chunky yarn. Normally, I like to use jute cord when I... Oh, you're just totally unraveling, huh? That's not cool. I'm going to wind it up. Usually I use jute cord to hang my wreaths because I like the way that looks, but I feel like that won't look great with this beautiful white, luscious, chunky yarn. So we are going to use the yarn instead. Okay. So let's see. How long would we want it to be? I don't want it to hang too far. So I'd say probably like this. That'd be good. We're going to have to tie it at the bottom. And we're going to do the same thing with this as we did with these. I'm going to put a pool of glue on the top and adhere it with that. I'm not going to do it right now because, again, I'm trying to let these dry so that we can continue. But that's what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to tie a knot on the end here like we did with the other ones, which is not easy to do with this chunky yarn, I'll tell you that. But we got it through. Oh, this is too short. Actually, I kind of want a short loop now that I'm thinking about it. I don't want it to be super visible. I want it to just sit underneath it so that it's almost like hidden by the top of the, you know, by his hair, by his floofy hair. So I'm going to do the exact same thing we just did. Put a pool of glue there and then pop that on there. And that'll be how we hook this on the front door. So it blends in really well. If you don't want to do something this noticeable, you could do the same yarn as this. That would work as well. Or anything you want, really, as long as it does the job. Okay, these aren't fully dry, but I feel like they're dry enough that I can flip it over and the glue won't drip onto my table. So let's continue because I do want to finish this because it's so cute. Oh my God, get out of here. How cute is this? Oh my God, I so love this. It really turned out the way I had planned in my head. These little skinny legs and arms. Oh my gosh, how cute. Okay. Now we got to glue his head on. Oh my God, I love the way this looks. This is so cute. All right. So all we have left to do is put his head. Now, where do we want to put it? Do we want to put his face hanging down? Or do we want to go higher up? Like that. I think higher up. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Up here? Or like this? Actually, I think I like it lower. Like, I think I like it like this. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So I am going to turn you. I'm going to put a big bunch of glue right under here and then just drop this guy right on top. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's hope that's good enough. I need to make sure it's in the center. Oh man. A little higher. We don't want to see the top. Oh, I'm so thrilled with this. This really came out the way I had it planned in my head. That is so rare. Okay. All right, guys. What do you think? Boop, 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 boop. Let's go through this real quick so that we do a little summary at the end. I always like to do that at the end of my projects because it's fun to see where we started. So we started with a plain wire wreath frame, 14 inches that I picked up from Dollarama. We wrapped it with this beautiful, thick, gorgeous, oh my God, it's so plush, this chunky yarn that took like 20 minutes to do. Then we made some really cute little legs and arms with some pom-pom feet and hands. And we topped it all off by making this super cute little lamb face. If you want to make one of these, the trace along or the stencil is in a free downloadable linked in the description below. I did actually make it a little bit bigger than what I printed out. And then I glued it to a file folder, just like this, to give it a little bit of substance. But you could totally use something, instead of felt, you could use cardboard. You could use stock board. Whatever makes you happy. Maybe not cardboard. What am I thinking of? Not cardboard. What's that called? Construction paper, black construction paper. That would work as well. I just wanted a little bit of, tense. I wanted it to be a little bit hard so that it would stay really well when I glued it down. And this has worked out really well. So I used the file folder. I glued felt on the back of it. Then we cut it out. And now we've got these cute little googly eyes that I glued down. Painted on a little nose and mouth, and then we made a fuzzy little hair. I love that it's wild and totally mismatched and not perfectly trimmed down. And then we've got these cute little hands and feet. Like, get out of here. How cute is this? I had so much fun making this. I think I haven't giggled this hard in a long time. I hope you guys enjoyed making this super cute wreath with me. I make wreaths every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join me again next week for another fun wreath making session. We're going to have a blast. And if you're interested in learning more about wreath making, check out my channel. I have a ton of beginner friendly videos. Some of them are in this live stream kind of format where I talk your ears off for a couple of hours. And some of them are like 10 to 15 minutes long with me talking your ear off in just a voiceover. So whatever makes you happy inside, check it out. Lots of beginner friendly fun projects on my channel. And if you enjoyed this, please consider hitting that like button, telling a friend, because it really does help me out. And don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!